Hey guys, today we're going to be trying something different. I'm going to maybe start a little bit of a series called Charge Rifle Commentary, where essentially it's just going to be me talking while using this bad boy. Video starts when I pick one up, and I've done you guys the service of already picking one up because I love you guys so much, you know? I want to make sure that you guys only get the best quality primo slop content. So, we gotta make sure we start the video only when we have the charge rifle in hand, which as you can see, I do, but I don't have a scope for it, smiley face. Yeah, unfortunately, the 4 to 8 times scope, you know, the best scope in the game, is in the crafter right now, which kinda sucks, but it doesn't really matter. You know, it is what it is. Whoa. Okay. I didn't think I'd get one of these. Alright. Cool. But yeah, this being a commentary, usually people talk about things in these things. And luckily for you, I have a couple of things that I guess I want to talk about today. Some of them might not be the most exciting things, but they mean a lot to me. And one of those things is on the topic of stuff like microtransactions in video games. There's a lot of like games I play. I mean, Apex is one of them. These games that over the years have kind of had a lot of microtransactions that just sort of I feel like they're getting more and more. I don't want to say like necessary, but it feels like a game can't release nowadays without a microtransaction component being included in it in some way. I'll give an example. How many games release nowadays and have battle passes in them? These battle passes don't necessarily need to be the most fleshed out or... I mean, most of the time they're not even good. But they come with a battle pass because it feels like the game can't release unless it has a battle pass. Because it's like, why are you going to release a game if there isn't a battle pass included with it? Like, that just seems like a dumb idea. But it's stupid because, you know, you think about it. A lot of these battle passes, a lot of these microtransactions, a lot of these payments in these games oftentimes cost more than the entirety of prices of other games. So you start to sit there and wonder, well, I'm paying so much for this game, and I'm paying a lot of these microtransactions just to get more sort of, I guess, content for the game that I'm already playing a lot, which is, in some ways, some people might view that as like a good thing, right? Oh, I'm paying for this microtransaction because I want to get more content. Like if you think about a battle pass, typically people only buy battle passes for games that they're actually actively playing, right? Normally you don't have people who go out of their way to buy battle passes for games that they know they're not going to play. That just, you know, usually people are a little bit more frugal, a little bit more intelligent with their money than that. Although I guess there are some people who, you know, for every smart person there's at least 15 dumb ones. But I guess there would be some people out there who are making that mistake. But I would like to think that it's not that many in the grand scheme of things. Yet these battle passes, you know, the successful ones, think things like Fortnite, things like... Well, I mean, Apex Legends has a pretty successful battle pass system. These battle passes rake in hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's this monthly payment to get a little bit of content on the side for as a reward of playing the game and leveling up the battle pass that you were already probably going to level up. It seems a bit weird and counterintuitive that a lot of the development time gets spent on things that not everyone gets to actually use. Maybe I'm stupid in regards to that. I'm stupid in a lot of ways, I guess. But when you actually look at microtransactions in gaming, it just feels like so many of them are so omnipresent now. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, back in my day when I was growing up. Because even when I was growing up, there was already a lot of stuff like mobile gaming sort of taking over the market, being a real cash cow that a lot of people wanted to get in on. It felt like every single studio was rushing to develop some kind of mobile game with a bunch of microtransactions in it. I mean, I remember when I would go to school, and there would be things like Clash of Clans would just be... It was literally the biggest game ever. And everyone would constantly be talking about all of the stuff that they would be doing in their Clash, like... Or in their Clash, but in their town, and like how they would be leveling up their town hall and stuff. And I remember one day I was asking someone, because they had just upgraded their town hall from like level 7 to level 8, which, if you've never played Clash of Clans, that takes like weeks. Like, literally, it takes forever for anything to actually upgrade in that game. And that's part of like the money-making scheme. is that they make it so that things take a long time, and then people get impatient, and because people get impatient, they make it so that you have to, like, pay to speed it up. They prey on the fact that people are inherently impatient, which is, you know, genius if you want to make money, I guess, because it's like, oh, if we force people, if we get them addicted to the cycle of gameplay, they'll have spent so much time playing this game that they will want to pay to get into the cycle again sooner. But if you actually look at it, it's kind of the same thing with battle passes, where, except now instead of making it so that it's like speeding up the ability for actually being able to play the game, you can always play the game. You can play the game with or without a battle pass. The only thing that changes is content that you kind of miss out on. A lot of these battle passes prey on the fact that you can't actually, like, most of the time, battle pass content is stuff that doesn't ever come back, right? Whoa.
I can see a portal.
It's stuff that doesn't ever really come back. It doesn't make its return.
Reloading.
Alright, interesting.
Looks like you've been hitting the range.
It's stuff that doesn't ever come back because, you know, if you make it so that the stuff comes back, well, it doesn't really matter then, because it's like, oh, well, why'd I pay for this battle pass if the stuff is just coming back anyways? Doesn't that feel a bit awkward? And it is awkward. It is kind of awkward. But it's also, you know, again, just part of the format.
Need to recharge my shields.
Amped cover for you,
I don't even know what's happening. Yow. First charge rifle of the game so far, wow.
Recharging my shields. Let's reposition there.
But it can feel a bit awkward, because as you start playing in games more and more, you start realizing that, like, the dollar is a pretty, like, big thing, you know? Dollars get a lot done, and if you think about it, there's a lot of games in the market right now that do give you a lot of bang for your buck in some instances. A game that comes to mind, a very popular game that a lot of people like to reference, is a game called Hollow Knight. And if you've never heard of Hollow Knight, it is a very successful indie game that is, I think, right now, about $10 on the store, on Steam. Or at least that's like the price I saw most recently was $10. $10 for a game is pretty crazy, all things considered, because we live in an economy now where, at least in America and stuff, people are talking about raising prices of games, because the price of a game has kind of been fixed at $60 for, like, AAA releases, but the quality of games, objectively, if you look at how buggy and broken they are on release, and sometimes borderline unplayable in cases like Cyberpunk 2077, which was this massively hyped release, for good reason. A lot of people were excited for it because they thought it was going to be a groundbreaking game, and it releases, and then it's just kind of, well, it's unplayable. That feels really bad. That feels horrible. Hello.
Hello. Amped cover for you, mates.
I don't know what's really going on.
Get up my cover.
Enemy shield broken.
Again,
Reloading.
I'll just come over here.
Yes, sir.
Spotted. Enemy down.
Nice
Yeah.
kill.
But a lot of these games are actually, like, really awesome, and they only cost, like, the same as a battle pass. But if you keep looking at battle passes, you just start to realize, well, why am I paying for this battle pass when this game is, like, the exact same amount of money, except it's a full game? And it's not like this limited time available commodity. I can actually just play the game. I own the game. I own the game Hollow Knight. I can play it whenever I want. I own all of it. It's like something I can just experience, versus this battle pass that I have to grind and sit there and just constantly, you know, work at, and I feel miserable. I feel horrible. If you've ever bought a battle pass, which I've only ever bought one, I didn't actually end up completing it. It was for Valorant, and I only got it because like there was one thing in it that I kind of wanted, and I was like, well, Valorant's a free game, and I haven't spent any money on it, and I spent a ton of money on League of Legends growing up, so I guess because I've spent so much money before, I'm kind of fine like spending a little bit of that money now. I don't really know much about Valorant's Battle Pass nowadays. I mean, I made a joke at one point that the skins were incredibly overpriced. And I don't mean overpriced in like a silly haha teehee like, oh, look at the CSGO economy, like all these skins are like so manufactured to be such high prices. Because the CSGO economy, the skins economy, what you have to understand in that game versus Valorant is that in CSGO, a lot of the skins, those prices are kind of like determined by the community. It's a very like capitalistic of like, I will buy your skin for this amount. We will, you know, we will barter a little bit.
Taking a knee. Patching up. Popping the chimney.
Dude, what the fuck is happening? Okay.
Using a Phoenix kit.
I don't know why they punched me. Whatever. Very interesting. That completely derailed my train of thought. No, it didn't. Sight.
Dropping in.
In Counter-Strike, a lot of the skins are, you know, it's capitalistic, like, oh, I will pay this for this, and if you buy it, then, okay, the price of this skin that I paid $2,000 for is now this much. Ergo, this skin roughly is, you know, about $2,000 of real-world money is what I'm willing to pay for it. But when you get to Valorant, the skin prices are all determined by Riot, and the prices are insane. Like, some of them are up to $50 for one skin. Do you know how many games you could buy? Like, entire trilogies of games you could just buy for that amount of money. But, like, it's just a skin. It's all of that for essentially what is just a cosmetic in a game. It's crazy. I feel insane thinking about it. And I mean, in some ways, I definitely am. Because, like, many people don't really actually, like... It's not that many people don't think about it. It's just, it's like, it's something you don't really consciously think about until you, like, sit down, and then all the thoughts, like, hit you all at once, right? Where it's like, every single microtransaction in a game is suddenly, like, coming towards you, and you're like, how did we get here? And then you realize we got here because a lot of people wanted to make a lot of money, right? That's how it always is. That's the answer to everything. Because people want to make money. And there's nothing wrong with people wanting to make money, but sometimes you have to question, how did it get, like, this warped, right? Because it can definitely feel like a lot of the quality of games. I mean, how many videos have you guys probably seen of, like, people complaining, oh, the state of gaming in 2029, the state of gaming, games are horrible now. And that's not true. Like, there's a lot of games right now that are absolutely incredible. Like, absolute marvels of games. They're incredible. They're great. And it's hard to sort of sit there though and be like, yeah, I really like this game, whilst saying, yeah, all of gaming is atrocious. All of gaming is just doing super poorly right now. Like, there's a reason that I always get this wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Hi-Fi Rush, not Lo-Fi Rush, but there's a reason that one indie game that had like no marketing. I think it's Hi-Fi Rush. I'm pretty sure it is. It was a great soundtrack. But there's a reason why Hi-Fi Rush was such a breakout hit. It's just purely because they made a good game. You know? Sometimes that's all you gotta do.
Aww. Cover's getting backed up.
Making contact with enemy.
Whole squad's not in the ring.
Going back to where they are.
Enemy shield. Reload. Down to target. Throwing Arc Star.
So it can feel pretty weird at times.
Placing a portal.
Most certainly.
Cracked an enemy shield. Getting shot at. Got me. I'm down.
Enemy's shield.
Enemy spotted.
Motherfuckers shooting at me. Closing up some amped cover.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
Tossing a frag.
Bruh.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Why did my teammate have to die?
I'm down.
45 45 seconds. Ring's close.
Why did my teammate have to jump all the way down? Yeah, I guess I'm pretty bad at the game, and it's what I get for ranting. I didn't do anything this game. My team was doing everything. Smiley face. But it is rather bizarre, because you do think about it. And I guess I just am so stuck on the idea of, like, how did we get here? You know?
10 seconds.
They don't just call me live.
And I guess that's how it ends. So, I guess that's episode 1. Complete incoherent rambling! Achievement. Let's go! Yeah, I did nothing. Next time maybe I'll try to do a little bit more in the game, because this is really abysmal.